Welcome to JFix and a new video, and in this video I've got a load of new goodies to show you. So I'm quite excited. I love receiving new things and giving things a try, so I'm going to show you all the things I've got. So yeah, I've got a whole variety of things here to show you that I've picked up. All of these items came from AliExpress, so I will provide links for them in the description if you do want to pick any of these things up yourself. But with that being said, let's go for a quick overview and then we'll look at some of them in more detail. So first of all, let's talk about my DC power supply. Now I can use the bridge connection, so I can have it in parallel or series mode, but I have to use an external cable to be able to do that. So I've picked up a load of cable here so I can make some of my own connectors. So we've got 14 AWG wire. Nice and thick quality, and to go with that I'm going to need some connectors on the end. So I've got a few different options that I've picked up. So we've got these ones like this, and you can pull the rubber down and terminate them there. I think it's a screw terminal to pinch the wire, which should be fine for the power supply. Or I have got these little ones here. Again, it's a little screw in there to clamp down on the wire, and they do come with some heat shrink tubes as well to go over them. So I'm not sure which ones will work out better. These ones look a bit more shiny, and I think they're going to be a little bit lower profile, so they're not going to stick out my multimeter onto my desk as much. So I might try these ones, I think. But yeah, I'll maybe put those cables together in a minute and we can have a look at how I've done that. Okay, I've got some more of these spudger things. These are things that I use already. I've got the black colour ones and they work quite well. Little pry tools, and I've picked up some more of them, and these ones are blue colour this time. So kind of a disposable item as you're using them. They do get worn out, so I'll put some more of those in the box because they're cheap to pick up. I've also stocked up on some more supplies of Flux. The Flux that I'm currently using is this Amtech kind of replica Flux, and it's the NC559 ASM, and I've been getting on quite well with this one so far. I've not had any issues, so I've picked up these ones. They do look slightly different. This one is a 559 ASM and this one is a TPF UV one on here. Slightly different packaging, but I'm hoping it is a slightly lighter liquid as well, looking at that. But these were recommended as well, so I've picked up quite a few, so I've got plenty of stock here. I'll put that out of the way for a moment. Okay, as long with the plunger that I've been using as well, I've only got a single one of these plungers and I really like it, so I have also picked up a second one of these mechanic. I think it's called a P09, so I'm going to be using that as well. Recently on the laptop that I've been working on, I got one of these little Wi-Fi cards, but it actually didn't have the Bluetooth on it. It only had Wi-Fi, and I wanted to have Bluetooth as well. So I've picked up this little guy, and that will give me the Wi-Fi, and it will give me the Bluetooth as well, with the two antenna ports on there. Also, I wouldn't mind working on a PlayStation 5, so I wanted to be able to use the UART to read the error codes, so I've picked myself up a UART reader, and this one is quite nice actually. Let me show you this. That's the model number of it here, and the good thing is with this one is it's got a little jumper pin on there, so I can choose if I want 5 volt or 3.3 volt on here just by changing out this jumper on here. And I can move that over to here for the 5 volt, like that. So that's quite neat, nice and easy. And on the back side we also do have some extra pins on there. Also it comes with just some of these little cables to connect onto these header pins here, so I can connect those on there. And If I'm going to do it on a PS5, I might chop the other ends of these off so I'm able to solder them. Yeah, back onto these little dispenser thingamajiggies. I've also picked up this one, which is an electric one. I've not seen anybody use this one, so I'm quite interested to see how this one works. So we'll do some testing on that in a minute. And going over here, I've picked up these mechanic nano cleaning sponges. I've actually already tried one of these on a live stream, and these are the tiny sponges for cleaning up. What I've been finding is that if I've put Flux on a board on here, if I put alcohol on it and then try and clean it with the brush, all it's kind of doing is spreading the flux around. It's not really removing any of the flux. Now, you can use the cotton bud and trying to wick it away, but I also find that that leaves quite a lot of fibres on the board. You can see as they like break off on the cotton bud. So I think these nano sponges are going to be a lot better because they're going to, as you're going to apply it on there, it's going to absorb and soak up any of the flux. And I've seen Nanofix use these and recommend them. But to go with that, I needed an alcohol dispenser. So I've picked up this, which is a really nice quality one. It does have a plastic cap to stop it evaporating, but it's really heavy. I've already filled it up, and as you can see, it's solid piece of glass on there, and you can see the logo in there, and as I push it down it fills up with alcohol. So I'm going to be able to fill this up, take the sponge, dip it into there, really get it saturated nicely, and I can use that then to clean my board and soak away any of the flux. I think it will work the best when the board is hot as well. Come in straight away with these and soak up any of the mess. I can just pop the cap on and stop that from evaporating. And it's nice because it's heavy, so some of the bottles you get are plastic and they can just tip over easy. This is heavy, so as you're dipping it in, I'm not worried about that tipping over. Alright, we do also have a ring light for my microscope. I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail and test that one in a moment, so let's leave that to the side. And this is just something else I got for my workshop here. I've got a set of vise covers, magnetic. I'm just going to show you me fitting them on the vise now, and that's going to protect anything that I'm taking apart because it's got nice rubber grip on there. So you can see those vice grips fit on nicely, and also as I do the vice up, that's going to protect anything that I put inside the vice, so I'm not going to damage it. I've got these multimeter leads and they've got a really nice sharp tip on those, but the problem is I kind of end up using them as a tool when I'm on a motherboard for scraping away things and doing different things like that. They do get a bit bent up, so I don't really want to use, I only want to use my multimeter probes for measurements. I don't want to be using them as a tool. So I wanted to get something similar, like a little pick. So I've put up this set of picks here. You get a set of 4 on there, and having one of these to hand just means I'm going to not have to damage my multimeter. I probably won't need all of those, so let me put... So I'll just keep a couple of these on my bench. I've got a straight one, and this one, it's kind of got a nice little sharp point on it, and this is a lot stronger than the multimeter as well, so I can pick away at things if I need to, do some scraping and not use my multimeter probes, use these, or not also use my tweezers and damage them. Along with that, I also picked up this one, which is a super precise one. So that's quite similar to a multimeter probe, but it feels like steel because it doesn't have to be gold plated and everything. It's a lot stronger than a multimeter probe. So I can use that one. Gone for a couple more pry tools as well, because I've currently got this one just for prying laptops apart and things, and I just wanted something a little bit wider and flatter just to give me an extra option. So these ones I've picked up. I've got this one first, which is the Jakemy. That one's a nice flat tip on there, so that's good for prying open laptops to get them apart. And I've also got this one, which is a Maant, and this is a nice solid kind of like chisel edge on there, nice and strong. I think you can also use these as well for applying thermal paste and spreading it, so that's nice. A couple more bonus items as well. I'm not going to include these on the video because I'm going to be making a separate video about this, but I've picked up this Chipmunk USB tester. That's going to be for testing motherboards while I haven't got the screen connected, just to see if I've got PCH CPU activity. And I've also got this laptop detection device, and this is for emulating the ID pin on laptop cables, so that's quite a useful tool. And yeah, I'll be doing a separate video on that and testing out how that works. So I'd like to try first of all this little device. Let's see what this is like. It looks like this Hozan, and it's got a USB-C charging point with that USB-C, and on the side here we've got a button. Do I have to hold it down? Oh, okay, yeah, I hold it down and the light's gone blue. I'm not sure what the lights mean. Can I cycle through them? So I can go green, red, blue. Maybe that's the speed that it comes out. And I've got a little button on here. What happens when I press that? Okay. I was expecting something to push down or something into the tube. Okay, so it's blowing air into there. I'm going to try this in one of these new Fluxes. This might be a flop. I don't know if this is going to work or not. How does this work? No, it doesn't actually fit those tubes. So I'm not sure which tubes this fits, what it's actually designed for. I thought it was going to be a dispenser for these types of Fluxes, but I might have been mistaken on that one, so I'll have to do some research on that. Right, update with the situation on the dispenser pump. I have actually ordered. It's a little bit later now, a few days later, and this is coming from AliExpress as well. This is the glue that goes with it. So it does come with some nozzles like that, and you can see that that is a bigger bottle than a normal Flux tube as a comparison. Look, so it's only going to work with the bigger bottle. The bottle itself, so you can fit these little glue nozzles on there, which I suppose you can just cut off, and I have checked and it does work with your standard nozzles that I use on the Flux as well. So let's see how this is actually working then. If we lock it in, how do we do it? Oh, okay, so we put it in like that and we twist it and it's locked in. Let's try one of these nozzles and turn it on around here. Start off on the blue. Here we go. So let's see how this is dispensing. I'll try and hold it up. Ready? Turn it around. Maybe it's trying to push it through there and it's too small. No. Right, let me have a play around. Okay, we're winning. I realised when I pushed it in I was a bit too hard. The rubber seal was just bent up. So it's got like a nice seal all the way around now. And if I use this to dispense it, you can see like that. The glue is quite thick, pushing through a thin nozzle, but it works quite well. That's on blue. Let me change it from, well, is red going to be the most powerful? Let's put it on red and give that a go. So yeah, if you're actually using it as a glue, I think you could be quite accurate with this. Not while I'm holding it in the air, but let's have it a go. Yeah, I like that. See that? That's working quite well. And I could adjust the size of the nozzle if I wanted like a thinner application. But I'm interested, and I don't know if you are as well, is could I use one of these tubes and fill it with flux and then see if I could use it as a flux dispenser. So if you're interested for me to try that, let me know and I'll give it a go. Somehow, if I can refill this bottle, empty the glue, clean it all out and fill it up with flux. That's my idea anyway, but might try that in another video. Right, let's get to the last thing, which is the microscope light, and see how that's going to be working. So here it is then. This is the Mechanic LS720 Plus ring light. Let's have a look at this. Right, I've got it unboxed now, and this is what it looks like. So this is going to be the top side that goes on the microscope with the little screw adjusters to screw onto there, and this is the underside. So you can see like it's tinted on there, and then you've got this bit that rotates on here for the polarization filter. So interesting to see how this one works. The good thing about this is, for me, it's just a USB power cable, so I can run that on 5 volts on the microscope itself. Let me just plug it in, and I'll plug it into one of my USB ports on the desk here, just so we can check it out. Okay, it's come on straight away. That's nice. And we've got a control here, so clicking it, you can switch it on and off just by clicking that button. And if we switch it on, we can adjust the brightness. So minimum brightness, and let's go max. Wow, that's actually quite bright on the max. Let me turn it down so we can see it. Okay, let me get my other microscope light. This is what I've currently got on at the moment, this type of one, and it's a 240 volt one with a little, just a switch on the back and a little rotary knob. But what I don't like about this, well, I'll take it out and you can have a look. Yeah, so this one is like this, and it's 240 volt or 230 volt from my socket, and I've had to chop it off, put this plug onto it because it didn't come with a UK plug. But I don't really want to have all this cable going to a power socket. It's not really long enough to route it all properly, and yeah, say it's one extra cable to have on your microscope. So if I can plug this one in with its USB power into my microscope, that's going to be better. Now I'm assuming it's not going to offer quite the amount of light that this one offers compared to the USB 5 volt, but looking at that, it does seem quite bright still. So let me fit that onto the microscope now, show you how that's working. Hopefully we can get rid of this thing. So this is the back of the microscope here that you can see, and I've got the 5 volt output on there. So I'm going to connect it into there. and then all I simply need is one HDMI cable to be routed through the arm and back to my capture card, because this is a microscope that's got a battery in it as well, so I can just plug it in, charge it up. I might at a later time have a USB mounted in there, but I don't have to have the 240 volt cable. Right, let's power this on then, this microscope. And yeah, we've got straight away, we've got ring light power as well, straight off the microscope. So that's really nice. This thing, I can manage the cables, might be able to make them shorter if I need to, but I could probably stick that under there and then just reach behind and have the thumb wheel sticking out if I want to adjust the brightness. But look, you can see on the desk there, we go max brightness, that's still giving a fair amount of light for a little USB light. And if I put it on here, yeah. Now I'm wondering if these are going to be long enough actually, because I've got, it's probably more made for your trinocular microscope. Yeah, these thumb screws are not going to be long enough, so I'm going to have to do some modification on there to get that working. But let's for now put a board under here. I'll hold it there just so we can see it, and we'll test how it's looking on a board. Let me switch over to the microscope view. Right, here we go then. So we're under the microscope, and this is the light from the lamp on here. As you can see, we're pretty well lit up on there. It is shaking about because I'm having to hold it on there because I can't attach it yet until I get some longer screws. But yeah, it looks good. But this is going to be the standout feature, is the polarizer on this. So if you look at the Raspberry Pi chip and try to read the markings, it's kind of difficult. Now, you are able to kind of like tilt it around like that, and you can see, look, when the light isn't reflecting straight back up in the microscope, you can read it, but when the light comes straight down on the microscope, it's just reflecting back up. This is the problem you can get with microscopes. So what the feature is if I rotate the ring light on here, I can adjust the polarizer, and look, I can read that perfectly now. And look, as you can just remove all reflections as I'm rotating this. Here we go, got 0 reflections at all. Look at that little chip there. I mean, I can't read it from here because I'm not zoomed in enough, but I could zoom in and it's perfectly clear now. So, especially if you've got like Flux and things on the board as well, if you're working on it and it's got reflections coming back, this will just wipe out those reflections. And as I adjust it back to kind of a normal view, so yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. We can adjust the brightness, go down, but I think I'd prefer to have it quite bright on there. And just adjusting that again. Let's go back round. Sorry, I'm dropping it now. Right, here we go, and we're back in focus. So how good is that? That's an amazing feature. And because it's quite a lot of LEDs getting hot, I think because it's a metal body, it's going to be dispersing the heat. So if I can get some longer screws and attach that on, that's going to be awesome. Then I won't be shaking. Here you go, you can see if I just hold it away so we're not shaking, how it looks. Rotating, look at that. So say sometimes you do want reflections on there because they can help you. But for other applications, you don't want the reflections. So yeah, let me go back to the overhead. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, looking at a few of these things that I've got. Now, just before I end the video, I do need to give a massive shout out because I've had a few people become members on this channel. So I really appreciate that. My content is always going to be free to watch, whatever I make. But that being said, people have still chosen to be a member on my channel, so I really appreciate that. I'm going to leave a list of the people that have become members, but I did want to give a special shout out specifically to Lapfix because he's become a JFix Legend member, and also Ed Boss as well. He's also become a JFix Legend member, so thank you very much, guys. Lapfix also has an amazing channel doing laptop repairs, so I'm going to link his channel below, so please check his channel out, and I'll leave a list here of all the members that I've got on my channel who I really appreciate you all joining. Hopefully I'm going to be able to put out some live streams and some more content as well, and I will be putting these videos out just for members first so they can have a look at it first, and then once that's done, just to say a bit of a thank you, they will be released to everybody as well. So that's it. Thanks everybody, hope you're well, and see you on the next one.